Alright, crude market closed just now. I want to talk about rejection levels. So these aren't, I guess, short-term rejection levels. These are levels that have been established through multiple years. So this is super long-term. And these can actually be pretty significant. Okay, let me show you. So I'm looking at a daily chart here. Pardon the other measured move gray boxes that I've drawn, but I drew what looks like a upward channel. It could be a bear flag, possibly here. Now today's move, let me go back to the shorter term chart. So look at that. It's actually what looks like a, what do they call it? Engulfing, bearish engulfing. So that's what happens when the movement upwards is overshadowed by a larger move downward, causing the next bar to actually be a larger red bar on a longer term chart. And that's actually a bearish indicator if you look at it technically. Now, I want to support that thesis also with some other reasons, but let's just break it down from a shorter term view. So there was a test, it actually held for a good couple hours at this range, but you could see that the range was steadily breaking down with the strength decreasing. There was divergence and also a squeeze. And whatever this area is, it didn't seem to have much support or resistance going up and support going down. So it broke through and also flushed to the downside. Well, this is kind of telling me, if you look on a longer term chart, let's just look at the 4 hour here. So yeah, it's an upward trending channel right here. Now we thought that might be a head and shoulders move, but it could also possibly be something else. So I drew a fib on a long term, like I'm using options as my divisions. And I'm drawing what was the first push up from 2015 to 2018-ish, before the drop in the winter. There was actually a huge drop. It went through at least 3 or 4 levels, fib levels. Now, I'm assuming that this is the bottom of the move. It might not be, but there's a lot of support here. But let's say it is. The move upward will continue to and reach 100% and retrace basically most of the drop that we saw, not from the development since 2015, but actually the development since Japan started easing, which affected a lot of the commodities. And we'd actually recover a large part of that move, even more than anything we've seen in the past, 6-7 years? Anyways, that's just speculation, and what's really important though is this area. So between 55 and say 54, let's go back to, so 55 and 54, this is like no man's land right here. This is an area that hasn't been tested. Like, if there's any conviction and it passes through the zone multiple times and it keeps going up, then you know we're actually in a bearish condition, but I mean a bullish condition. But if it actually stays below this area, that actually could mean some difficulty for crude in the medium term. I mean, this move is actually a huge message. It's telling you that even though during this week we've tried to push up and break that level, we might not actually be able to. But we have to see what happens in tomorrow with the employment report, and next week. Next week has less data. It might have less volatility, but you never know. In the case where there is a downside, I don't know what the measured move is, but it could actually be a large continuation. The problem is that I do not see a squeeze developing, so basically it might just be a range play, longer term range play too. I do have some medium-term strength. Shorter term, it's a little weak. So it's almost like it's in balance. Maybe move lower could be helpful, but yeah, that's what I wanted to call out. In the other markets, let's look at yes. Yeah, the market's trying to move up. I'm not going to focus on too much on the indexes though. They could do their own thing. I mean, we're hoping for the best, right? In a bullish condition, and it still could be possible. VIX has slowly moved lower. It's actually going to be a very different rounded bottom if it actually works out, but the original rounded bottom validation has been rejected. It's at the lows. It's also at almost extreme lows for the levels that it's at. Maybe NASDAQ. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. I don't see issues, but let's get Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollar I know has some reports next week, so I might be preparing for that. Again, I left the bigger move, larger move for that bull flag there to see what might happen. And this is probably the bullish case where crude could see a continuation. Yeah, but you never know what will happen. Just keep that in mind. So day to day, I mean, we're okay. Let me see if I still have my window open. No, I took that out. Yeah, so, I mean, I can show you the trade report later on, but I passed the 4K mark now. I only have 2K left to go. I did not expect the lunchtime session to have so much activity, honestly, but I think that's more of a time thing, that they have to get all these trades out before the employment report happens tomorrow. So that's kind of a unique thing that I didn't notice. But I was able to pay attention to the levels, and even though the fib levels might not adhere strictly to whatever support and resistance are, you can see it when it plays out. So again, employment reports early tomorrow in the morning before even the crude open, and then it's the beginning of the month. Today's the end of the month. There's going to be maybe some weird activity due to that, but it's also an options day, so we'll see what happens. Okay, I'll probably just show the trade report later and maybe something else random, but yeah, that's it for now.